Hey, good afternoon, and thanks for coming to Codorus State Park on this beautiful day. My name is Mike Kutzmanik. I am the Assistant Regional Manager for the Beer State Park, South Central Pennsylvania. I'd like to welcome you all here today and to welcome Pennsylvania Governor Tom Wolf, Pennsylvania's Acting Physician General Dr. Denise Johnson, and DCNR Deputy Secretary Mike Walsh. The purpose of this event is to announce and introduce the partnership between two Commonwealth agencies, the Department of Health and the Department of Conservation and Natural Resources, in offering COVID-19 vaccine clinics to the public across the Commonwealth during the month of September. Since we're here at Codorus State Park today, I'd like to give special recognition out to the park staff and their continued hard work and diligence, not just for today, but for every day in their efforts to maintain the park and produce an exceptional recreational experience to our citizens. Codorus has been a particularly impacted park in the last 2 seasons due to the pandemic, as visitation increased dramatically across our state park system, with it being located close to major population centers of the eastern seaboard. Again, my deepest thanks and appreciation to our frontline staff in handling the increased number of patrons, implementing the COVID-19 protocols, providing service from cleaning restrooms to delivering outdoor resource education to law enforcement and emergency responses, and performing their duties admirably to provide the needed outdoor respite for many people during these difficult times. Just some brief facts about the park while we're here is I encourage all of you to take advantage of the park while you're here. So the park is 3,000 acres, with Lake Marburg being 1,275 of those acres, right behind us here. Providing outdoor recreations, boating and fishing. We also have campground, hiking trails, swimming pool, and other various outdoor recreational amenities. The park was initially developed as a joint venture between the Commonwealth and the Gladfelter Paper Company in the 1960s, providing water needs to the paper plant and offering a recreational lake to the people. For those of you who may wonder why the lake level seems to fluctuate to more of a degree than the weather would suggest, it's largely due to the water needs of the paper plant. A historical fascination of the park I find particularly interesting is that on the property was the former site of the Marianne Iron Furnace. It's believed that this was the first iron furnace west of the Susquehanna River and provided munitions for the Revolutionary War. Its owners were very influential people of the birth of our nation, one of them being George Ross, a prominent citizen of Pennsylvania and signer of the Declaration of Independence. Again, I would like to thank all of you for coming. Thanks to the people up here for putting together this extremely important partnership and service to our fellow citizens, and for allowing me to serve you all in my capacities as a park manager for the Bureau of State Parks for over 15 years. I'd also like to thank the following gentleman for his service and leadership during these very difficult and unprecedented times. I'm sure he's had a lot of sleepless nights, probably even weeks and months, right? And in the past year and a half, had to make some tough decisions that very few people would have traded places with him. And together, folks, we'll all get through this. With that being said, it's my honor to introduce Mr. Tom Wolf, the Governor of Pennsylvania. Governor Wolf.
Thank you, Michael. I appreciate your introduction and appreciate your being here. And as York County and Lake Marburg is a big deal, Codorus State Park is a big deal. We're here to talk about the importance of getting vaccinated. And COVID-19 is making this imperative. That's our strategy. Throughout September, certain state parks across the Commonwealth will be hosting COVID vaccine clinics for the public. And this initiative provides us with a unique opportunity to bring vaccination opportunities directly to the people who need them. This is a big, big deal, and it's a great partnership. Working with our parks partners, we're able to offer safe, free vaccinations. We're able to offer them in convenient times and places that improve community access. Look, we know that vaccinations save lives. That's our strategy. They keep us safer as people. They help us to slow the spread of the disease through our community. Pennsylvania is one of the better states in the nation. We lead one of the leading states in terms of the uptake, the upsurge of the COVID vaccine, the COVID virus. And we've had a lot of success because of our strategy of vaccinations, and we're doing really well there. As of this morning, Pennsylvania has 70.3% of Pennsylvanians, all Pennsylvanians have been vaccinated, have at least one vaccine. And that makes us 9th in the country and 1st among the 10 most populous states. We're actually at 56% in fully vaccinated people as a percentage of the entire population, and the national average is 53%. Unfortunately, we're not ninth in the nation in terms of fully vaccinated people, but we are third in terms of the top 10 states. In terms of 65 and older, those who are 65 and older, we're actually first in the nation. 99% or more have gotten at least one dose. In terms of one dose, 76% of the population 18 to 64 have gotten at least one dose, and 57% of the population between 12 and 17 have gotten at least one dose. So we're making progress. 83.3%, these are too many statistics for you, 83.3% of 18 and older have gotten at least one dose, and 66, almost 67% have been fully vaccinated in terms of adults. So we are doing a good job, but the COVID virus and variants of that, the Delta variant especially, continues to spread. In Pennsylvania, we are reducing the rate of increase in terms of that spread, but it still is growing. So we can't sit back and give up on our fight against this terrible disease. The best, fastest way for us to end this pandemic is to get the shot, get the vaccine. Getting vaccinated is something concrete we can all do. If you're 12 or older, can all do to be part of the solution to COVID. And it's a way we can protect the people around us, in our communities, in our families, in our neighborhoods, including those who can't yet get the vaccine, who are under 12 years old. That's why we are putting all of our efforts as a Commonwealth into increasing vaccination rates in Pennsylvania communities to keep our neighbors safe, to keep our friends safe, again, to keep our communities and our children safe. Partnering with DCNR, the Department of Conservation and Natural Resources, to provide vaccination opportunities is a great way for us to ensure that communities all across Pennsylvania have convenient access to the vaccines. And it's just one more way that we can help ensure our park communities are as safe as possible. So I want to thank the hardworking, I'm going to add to Michael's point, I want to thank the hardworking folks at DCNR and the Department of Health who have made these clinics a reality. This is hard work. They've been working hard throughout this pandemic. This is just one more responsibility that we've put on them. So thank you to all of you for your hard work, to your fellow Pennsylvanians. I also want to thank every Pennsylvanian who has stepped up to get the vaccine. You're helping your community. You're helping all of our communities, and you're saving lives. So clinics are going to be hosted at 5 state parks around the Commonwealth: Beltsville, Shikellamy, Codorus right here, Keystone, and Nakamixon State Parks throughout the month of September, throughout this whole month. So check out your DCNR website for dates and times of the vaccine clinic that's closest to you. Remember, vaccines are safe. They're easy. Most important, they're free. And it's with clinics popping up in parks all across the Commonwealth, just like this one. It's never been easier to get a shot than it is right now. So thank you, and now I'm going to turn it over to Mike Walsh, DCNR, to talk a little bit more about this. Deputy Secretary Mike Walsh.
Thank you, Governor.
Thank you.
Thank you, Governor Wolf, and it's my honor on behalf of Secretary Cindy Adams-Dunn of DCNR to welcome Governor Wolf to Codorus today, and Dr. Denise Johnson, the Acting Physician General of the Commonwealth. It's a great day to be here at Codorus. It's just wonderful. And I want to thank the staff of Codorus not only for hosting us today, but also for hosting the vaccine clinic that'll take place here on September 19th. We are incredibly proud at DCNR of the men and women who work in our parks and forests. And remember, there's 121 state parks and 2.2 million acres of state forest land. And all of these men and women take their responsibility to live up to our constitutional mandate and our mission. They take that very seriously. They work every day to protect our natural resources, not only for today, but for generations yet to come, and to help provide a safe and healthy outdoor recreation opportunity for millions of visitors each year. Now, in ordinary times, I think the importance of our public lands is well known and their value understood. But this past year and a half has proved beyond anything we could have imagined just how important these lands are. When faced with a choice of how to spend their time during a pandemic, millions decided to head outdoors. Families visited their local parks. They found a trail for biking or taking a walk, and some went out and they bought kayaks to enjoy on our rivers and lakes, just like Lake Marburg here at Codorus. And they came in unprecedented numbers. Last year at Pennsylvania State Parks, more than 49 million visits. It's just amazing. And during this time, we've heard from our park staff and our foresters about all that they have done to introduce these public lands to new visitors, to share with them all that these beautiful places have to offer so that families can create new memories during otherwise uncertain times. That's what our parks and forests provide, the chance to be with friends and family in a safe environment and to have a positive outdoor experience that helps us maintain good physical and mental health. And that connection between health and the outdoors is as important as ever. In fact, a Penn State study in 2017 found that 73% of adults surveyed across Pennsylvania found that parks, trails, and open space is a critical part of the healthcare system. And that was true across all age groups and demographics. Having these places is essential. And what Governor Wolf and Dr. Johnson are announcing today is another component of what is not only necessary, but what is essential to our public health, providing another opportunity for our friends and families to receive the vaccine at 5 park locations around the Commonwealth. I know the DCNR staff at Codorus, Beltsville, Shikellamy, Keystone, and Nockamixon State Parks appreciate very much that they can help with this critical initiative. They know how important it is, and it's yet another way that we can help benefit the visitors that come to our park each and every year. So we look forward to welcoming all those who will come to these 5 locations to take advantage of this important opportunity. I just want to say that in so many different ways, the Pennsylvania Department of Health has provided us with their guidance and their expertise over these past 18 months. And they're not only great advocates for public health, but they are great partners for us at DCNR. And I want to again thank Governor Wolf and Dr. Denise Johnson for what they do every day to help keep us and all of our fellow Pennsylvanians safe. We are thankful for that, and it's my great pleasure to introduce to you now Dr. Denise Johnson, the Acting Physician General of the Commonwealth. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, and good afternoon, everyone. I'm very thrilled to be here with my colleagues and with all of you to announce this really exciting initiative where we are partnering to bring vaccinations to people in the Commonwealth. The Department of Health partners with multiple organizations and entities to make sure that every single Pennsylvanian who is eligible has easy access to the vaccine. And today we can add DCNR and the services here to bring vaccines within the park clinics for people within Pennsylvania. It's not been easy to make sure that we get access to vaccines throughout the Commonwealth. We've had to look at things like making sure that we have vaccines accessible in every single community, addressing issues of mobility and transportation getting to and from the clinics, but also making sure that we address language and cultural barriers that are found in some communities. But we want to make sure that we keep vaccines accessible. Now you can access free vaccines within our state park clinics throughout those different locations that you heard of before. We want to make sure that vaccines are accessible and that people also have access to the credible information that they need to make that decision to get vaccinated. At these on-site clinics, you can have access to the Johnson & Johnson one-shot vaccine, but also the Pfizer 2-dose vaccine, which is now Comirnaty, since it's gotten full FDA approval. And that's just a testament to how safe and effective these vaccines really are. You can come to the state park clinics and get your second dose vaccine if you need it, or you also could go to any of our state health centers or any vaccine provider that's nearest you to get that. Those of you who have already been vaccinated, as the governor said, you've taken a huge step to protect yourself, to protect your loved ones and those around you, but everyone else that's around you from COVID-19. And we all know that you have the power to end this. So let's take advantage of all of the tools that we have in our toolbox. Vaccine is the number one, to make sure that we keep Pennsylvania safe and healthy, and that we can start enjoying the things that we did before this pandemic. Thank you to DCNR for partnering with us to help to extend the vaccinations, and thank all of you for what you're doing to help keep Pennsylvania safe and healthy. And I'll turn it back over to Governor Wolf. Sure.
Okay, take questions. Ed, you look like you have one. Okay.
Governor, what is your hope as to how this vaccine clinic will make a difference in the battle against COVID-19?
Well, again, this is our strategy. The vaccine, I think it's no accident that the fact that Pennsylvania's done pretty well in the nation in terms of vaccines is also one of the reasons why we're doing pretty well. We have done pretty well in terms of this most recent upsurge. Along with other northeastern states, if you look at this region, we actually are already on the downswing in terms of new cases. Pennsylvania, not yet, but the region is. And the nation just this week started to see a downturn in new cases. I think if you look within Pennsylvania, the counties that have done best are the ones that are most vaccinated. Where there's been a lag in vaccines, that's where we've seen the upsurge. So there has been a connection. I think it's worked in Pennsylvania. It's been the strategy. And again, my announcement of the masking for schools was simply to plug a hole. That's a hole right now. You can't vaccine kids who are under the age of 12. So how do we keep them safe? We need to have them in the classroom. But for everybody else, the vaccination is the strategy.
State parks.
Well, actually, we're trying to have vaccines. I think that Dr. Johnson can speak to this. We've tried to make vaccines accessible. When we first started, just as an example, I think we had maybe 200 and some vaccination sites. We're now up to how many thousand?
Over 3,000.
Over 3,000 vaccination sites throughout Pennsylvania. So this is not the only place to get a vaccine, but we're adding as many places as we can where people might go, might find convenient. And so these 5 places are just in addition to all the other places that we're making the vaccine available.
Just a follow-up to that. So is this a one-day vaccination clinic, or is this at the various locations, or will this continue for a number of days?
It'll continue throughout the month of September. I don't know how many, the hours and days, as I said in my presentation, are going to be on the DCNR website, but Mike, you have, go ahead.
Okay. So we will have vaccine clinics at Beltsville State Park tomorrow from 10 to 4, at Shikellamy State Park on the 18th from 10 to 4, on the 19th here at Codorus, also from 10 to 4, at Keystone State Park on the 25th from 10 to 4, and at Nockamixon State Park also on the 25th from 10 to 4.
On the 19th, at this location here, just on the 19th between those hours that you just mentioned?
Correct. Just on the 19th, here in the band shell, 10 to 4. Thank you.
Yes.
Governor, I want to ask you about President Biden's mandates for vaccines. How do you think that will help you specifically? You've really been a big supporter of pushing for vaccines. How do you think that will help you specifically when governing the state? But also, do you think it's treading a legal gray line here? A lot of Republicans are challenging the legality of it.
Yeah, I mean, this is new, so I think we're waiting to see what happens in terms of the first part of your question, how this helps. I think he just said yesterday what I just said, and that is that this is the strategy. We need to get people to get the vaccines. And so he's doing everything he can to make sure that happens. I think what he talked about yesterday affects maybe, 100 million people in the United States. And you're right, that there are challenges that have started to appear, and I don't know how that'll turn out. We'll have to see. Any other questions? All right. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody. And again, thanks to the state park workers for doing what you're doing to make this work. Thank you very much.